he had returned to the forest, a place that had haunted his dreams for months, driven by a mixture of curiosity and an inexplicable compulsion. The trees stood like silent sentinels, tall and twisted, their branches intertwining to form grotesque shapes against the night sky. The forest floor was thick with mist, curling around his feet like icy fingers trying to pull him into the earth. At first, he told himself it was just his imagination, that the faint whisper he heard was merely the wind brushing through the leaves. But something deep inside warned him otherwise. There was a presence, unseen but undeniably close, and it was watching. Step by cautious step, he advanced along the narrow, uneven path. Each sound, the snap of a twig beneath his sneaker, the rustle of dead leaves, echoed louder than it should have, amplifying the tension in his chest. Shadows danced in the corners of his vision, elongated and twisting unnaturally, as if the darkness itself had taken life. He clutched his phone tightly, the dim light casting a pale glow over his tense face, highlighting the beads of sweat forming on his forehead. Every instinct screamed for him to run, yet some invisible force anchored him to the spot. A sudden movement behind him made him freeze. The hairs on his neck stood on end. He could feel the presence pressing against his back, an intangible weight that made each breath shallow and every heartbeat a deafening drum. Slowly, he dared to turn his head, only to glimpse a dark, humanoid figure at the edge of his vision. Its limbs were unnaturally long, bending and stretching in ways that defied reality. It glided rather than walked, silent yet horrifyingly deliberate. Panic surged through him, and he forced himself to inhale and exhale, shallow and trembling. The whispers began next, faint and overlapping, curling around him like a sinister chorus. "Don't look. Don't move. It's here." The words seemed to emanate from the fog itself. He could feel its icy tendrils brush against his skin, though no hand or form could be seen. Every time he attempted to step forward, the shadow stretched closer, mocking his fear with movements impossible and inhuman. The moonlight filtered through the twisted canopy, casting elongated, distorted shadows that merged with the figure behind him, creating an ever-shifting nightmare of shapes. Time lost all meaning. Seconds stretched into eternities. Minutes felt like hours. The shadow mirrored his every move, gliding in perfect synchrony. He could feel its presence like a cold, invisible weight pressing against him, its breath almost tangible at the nape of his neck. He tried to speak, to scream for help, but no sound escaped. The forest seemed alive, twisting and bending around him, reshaping paths and turning familiar trees into grotesque, looming silhouettes. Each step he took felt preordained, a slow march deeper into the inescapable darkness. And then he saw it clearly. Pale, distorted, with black voids where eyes should be, staring into him with a consciousness that was both alien and malevolent. The shadow's limbs reached unnaturally, bending in impossible ways as if mocking the physical laws he knew. His body trembled, frozen in terror. The forest seemed to pulse around him, shadows curling and uncurling like living things, fog swirling in patterns that made it impossible to discern direction. He staggered, barely maintaining his balance, but the shadow followed with unerring precision. Every flicker of his phone's dim light revealed grotesque glimpses of the twisted branches and the looming figure. He felt as though he had entered a liminal space between reality and nightmare, where time, space, and logic no longer applied. The air was thick and metallic, tinged with a scent that made his stomach churn. Every sound, the rustle of leaves, the crack of branches, even the soft hiss of wind, felt amplified, carrying with it a sinister intent. The fog thickened, curling around his legs and rising steadily, obscuring the path ahead. The shadow closed in, its breath now a tangible chill that made his skin crawl. He could almost hear it whispering his name, though no lips moved. "You shouldn't have come back." His heart pounded violently, blood roaring in his ears. Panic surged, yet he could not flee. The forest itself seemed to resist, paths twisting in impossible loops, drawing him deeper into the domain of the unseen. The shadow hovered, inches from his back, stretching impossibly, a grotesque reflection of his own movements. It needed nothing. It simply existed, feeding on his fear, growing stronger with each tremor of his body. Every step he took was mirrored, every hesitation anticipated. The whispers became a deafening cacophony of unearthly voices, urging him to surrender, to succumb. He tried to look forward, to take control, but reality bent around him. The moonlight now